All right, what is going on, YouTube? So coming back today, wanted to talk about RJ Barrett a little bit, more draft rumors, stuff like that. So there was a recent report that had emerged. See if I could trace back here and find it. I think I had originally read it on Clutch Points, but essentially saying that he would prefer landing with the Lakers over the Knicks. So it seems like the it was New York Post that first impression looked like. But it looks like the set order obviously is going to be Zion, one to the Pelicans. We have John Morant going two to the Grizzlies, and I mean all goes to plan for the Knicks, Lakers, no trades shake up 3 or 4. Then RJ Barrett, and again barring any massive rise or fall up or down draft boards, RJ Barrett at 3 to the Knicks, and then probably some combination Darius Garland maybe, Jared Culver, DeAndre Hunter, something like that, number 4 to the Lakers. So there is a pretty steep drop off from 1, 2, 3, and then to 4. Once you get to 4, though, it's kind of anyone's game up until about picks 11 or 12, it seems. So what happens with RJ Barrett is pretty interesting. So obviously he's got a very high ceiling. He's a talented wing. He had a decent season at Duke. Like, it was very up and down, but there were times, especially when Zion was down, that he showed that he could command the offense, that, you know, he can kind of be that point forward sort of player that can possibly play positions all 1 to 4. I mean, 6'7" is not the best height in the world. It's not going to be like a Paul George, Kevin Durant sort of deal, but I mean, I'm not comparing him directly to Kawhi, but it could be more like that sort of situation where he could play pretty much every position 1 to 4 and guard that too. So again, the original piece here that I'm doing the video off of is would he fit better with the Knicks or the Lakers? It doesn't matter which one he prefers to play for. As far as which one he prefers to play for, it makes sense that he'd rather do the Lakers over the Knicks. I mean, in terms of direct contention, winning a title, stuff like that, obviously the Lakers were the more recent relevant team. The Knicks, it's been a while since they've been in title contention, or at least made it to a NBA Finals. And, you know, it seems like they're still a while away. Like, a lot depends on what happens this offseason, because this is a huge cycle of free agency. But, you know, you get to go play alongside, like, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, LeBron. It does seem like the three's a little deep with the Lakers, but who knows? Barrett might be able to play at the 2 or the 4 or something like that. They'd be running a little bit of a big lineup there, but again, could be a good fit. The Knicks, he'd probably come in and be the starting 3 right away, or starting 4, depending on where they want to go. In terms of what the Lakers are bringing back next year, I mean, assuming that they don't dish out Lonzo or Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, obviously LeBron. I do like Josh Hart too. They're probably losing KCP, and honestly, they will probably lose like one other piece too. In terms of what the Knicks are bringing back, it's a little bit less promising, but that's where the whole like tons of cap space comes into play. Like the fact that they get all sorts of options. Who knows? KD, Kyrie, Kawhi Leonard, Kemba. I don't know. They could go any number of directions, but a lot depends on who's interested in going there. In terms of what they have right now that's actually coming back, that would be a quality piece. I mean, Kevin Knox, I think, would be a good piece in the lineup for a while. I mean, by no means do I think he'll be a star, but I do think that he's got a bright future ahead. Beyond him, I do think Dennis Smith can be a good piece. They're probably losing Emmanuel Mudiay to free agency this summer, but I think that'll be fine. Anyway, they're mostly going to be building through the draft and free agency. There's no doubt about that. Trade market too, depending on what happens with them, the Lakers, maybe the Pelicans jumping in there too. I do like the idea of RJ Barrett coming in and making an impact right away. It's hard to assume that, you know, the Lakers or that the Knicks aren't going to make a splash trade before the draft or after. I mean, it seems like a good fit for him in the Knicks. If the Knicks want to trade back, you know, grab something else, and the Lakers trade up to get RJ Barrett, the Lakers have a lot of resources to do that. I think there's a lot of good ideas here. If the Lakers want to throw something at the Knicks, like Lonzo Ball wants to go there, it seems. Who knows what the Brandon Ingram ordeal is? It seems like they're going to stick with Kyle Kuzma. He was their lottery representative and had another really good season. But there's a lot of trade pieces that the Lakers still have to work with here. And so I could see RJ Barrett being a good fit there. I do think the Lakers would have to do something to free up the room for him to make an impact there. And I would really like the idea if the Lakers can free up some room, bring in, a star, at least solid starter at the one of the two, free up some space at the 3 and the 4, outside of LeBron and Kyle Kuzma. Maybe Kemba could happen, but I haven't heard a whole lot about him wanting to go to LA. But more like a Mike Conley or Bradley Beal, something along those lines. I think it would be a really good situation. And so that's one idea to go with here. If the Knicks wanted to take a move of trying to build around some form or fashion of like Kevin Knox, DSJ, something like that, I think that could work out well too. The Knicks would obviously have to bring in someone else there to help build that roster further. It's not a good roster right now by any means, and they're going to have to do a lot of work to build through the offseason. But I think the title odds I was looking at, they had like the third or fourth, or they were tied for like the third or fourth best odds to win the 2020 NBA Finals. So that could be something to watch as well. But I do get where RJ Barrett's coming from in terms of the looks of the rosters right now, wanting to play alongside LeBron James, getting a fresh start. Played his college ball at Duke, gets to go to the other side of the country, still being a huge market for basketball, much like Duke, big time franchise coming from a big time program. And there's going to be other young rising stars around him, more than likely. And so who knows what the Lakers do as well, trying to bring in like Anthony Davis, if that'll end up working out. Kind of a day-by-day sort of situation. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Tell me what y'all think about RJ Barrett's decision here. He's been very outspoken lately about saying where he wants to go, calling himself the best player in the draft, which in and of itself, honestly, I like the confidence from him, but just isn't really true. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So yeah.